All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Team Relentless Call. Loving seeing some new people on the call from the team and people who are not quite on the team but are thinking about it. So we have weekly team calls every Tuesday night that I have opened up to the public. That way coaches who want to hear stories from other people and get a new perspective, or even coaches who may not have an active coach, they get some training. So feel free to hop on any Team Relentless calls in the future. Next week's going to be a little bit different, though. I was asked to speak on Melanie Boland's team call and the availability she had, and her team calls are on Thursday. So I switched our team call till that day. That way you can be included. So if you can't make it on, if you usually, save Tuesday for your calls, it will be recorded, so I will post it. But it's always great to get on live, especially if you're a leader. Your team follows what you do. So today what I wanted to do is I try to fluctuate with my team calls, having training and then also inspirational stories. That way we can invite other people that maybe are not coaches that need some inspiration. So I asked my friend Millie, who lives outside of my area but pretty close, to speak, sharing her story, because I think that so many of us, if you're coaches, hear this all the time from people, who are, 40 and up, who say, wow, I love what you're doing. If I was young, I would, so do what you were doing, but I'm just too old. And I've seen through the almost 4 years of being a coach that so many people are, announced as the Beachbody Challenge winners. And I've helped tons of people that are ages 40 to 60 years old that have taken their health into their own hands and decided to reclaim their life. And I do not feel that there's any, age that it's too late to get started. I shared something the other day that one of my old employers, he got his sister involved with Beachbody, and then his sister got their mom involved in Beachbody. And she's in her late 70s, and she actually is doing 21-day fix and loves it. And her daughter made sure that she said, Mom, make sure that you follow the modifier. If you're doing 21-day fix, her own 21-day fix, there's Cat. And, she was trying to set her mom up for success, coaching her. And her mom, did it and said, well, she's not doing anything. I want to follow the rest of them. So age is just a number. And, no matter how old you are, I think that everybody could agree that we want to live the best life possible and get the most out of it. So I see so many people who, are even in their mid-30s like I am. And Ryan, turn your Wi-Fi off, please. Sorry. And they're dealing with high blood pressure, high cholesterol. And I've watched people ignore it in their youth, and then it takes a toll in later on in life. So there's always a way to change everything around. And so Millie is one of those people. She joined the Beachbody community like I did as a customer first in May of 2014. And her weight, she'd always struggled with her weight, and it had gotten pretty high at one point, but she was, had lost some weight. And then she found Beachbody, and 2 months later, she decided to become a coach. And since then, she's sponsored several coaches, which means that I hear this too all the time from people. Oh, well, I'm too old to work this business, or, that's for you young people. I don't have that. And I see so many coaches at Summit, at Leadership, who are older. And I hear stories all the time of people who don't let their age define them. They don't let their struggles from the past define them either. And so I thought that she would be great to have on this call. And if you didn't listen to the National Wake Up Call that is weekly as well, that is put on by corporate every Monday, Scotty Hobbs was talking about his dad this week on the National Wake Up Call, that he was able to retire his dad, who was, I think, a print machinist, and he repaired I think copy machines or something like that. And it took a toll on him. So he got his dad retired and brought home, and they help out. He's basically his assistant. But his dad was so inspired by Scotty that said, you know what, I'm going to share my story, and I'm going to be successful and learn from one of the best. It's helped with, I think, his high blood pressure or cholesterol. And Carl Deichler's dad is a huge advocate. I remember a year and a half ago, he was trying to get as many people as he could to get on Ultimate Reset with Carl, and he has had great results. So I want you to realize that you do not need to, even though your niche or your target market or your perfect audience may be within your age category, you still should not discriminate or leave out people who may be older, who have been struggling or are looking for the answers, and that could be your next diamond coach and somebody that you help win back their life. So I'm going to turn it over to Millie so she can share her story and some tips on how to be successful as a coach as well. All right, lady.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight. First of all, thank you, Mindy, for this is amazing opportunity. When you extended this invitation, I was pretty floored. So thank you for opening your team call to me this evening, so I can share my journey of love with your team. And like you said, I am 54 years old. I like to give you a little bit of background about me. I 54. I come from a family of five. I'm the youngest and the only girl. And my dad, who was a physician, came from a very, very different background than his career. And he had lived a very dysfunctional life in his household, which caused him to be extremely overprotective with me when I was throughout my entire life. And because of that, he never encouraged physical activity with me. So I was never allowed to run. I never had a bike or tricycle or anything that would harm me in any way by falling or anything like that. So from the get-go, I was never active to begin with. Okay. So that didn't help me in having, weight issues. But from a very early age, from 3 years old to 14, I was, regardless of how much my dad tried to protect me from things, I became the victim of sexual abuse and sexual molestation at a very early age, from those 11 years. And those experiences in my life created some very dysfunctional issues with food, a very dysfunctional relationship with food in my life. So here I am, not big on exercise. I've never exercised. I carry a lot of baggage about the past. And I am in a bad marriage. I end that marriage. And I find myself in my early 40s with 280 pounds at that time, 285. Suffering from consequences of the abuse that I had put my body through throughout my 20s and 30s and my early 40s, with very arthritic knees and a broken ankle that I had suffered when I was over 300 pounds. And I didn't know what was going to happen with my life, but I knew that something had to give. And that was the first time that I attempted to lose the weight, to really do something about my weight. But I was lacking support. I had joined the gym, I had a personal trainer, and I had done some extreme changes in my diet that created results. But I was doing it all alone, and I had nobody outside of that hour that I had that personal trainer to follow up with me. Eventually, more physical and issues took toll in my body, and I had to have a hysterectomy, and I couldn't exercise for 3 months. And those 3 months that I didn't exercise caused me to revert back to the previous habits that I had, where I didn't exercise, and slowly but surely the weight came back on. And it wasn't until I was ready to look inward and release the pain and release the past and forgive myself, that I was able to really love my body back to health. And that health came through a cousin of mine who had become a Beachbody coach. And she had approached me for over a year and a half And of course, I had said no. And after a year and a half, exactly on Mother's Day last year, my mother was the straw that broke the camel's back, because she gave me a look on that day that went right through my heart and caused me to surrender to change. And on the next day, I joined my cousin. I finally said yes to her, and I started with a 7-day clean eating group, and followed with a 21 challenge. And after the 21-day challenge, I joined a 30-day accountability group. And in those first 60 days, I experienced such incredible changes in my body. But more than my body, I belonged to this community of people that, even though we had never met face to face, I felt that they got me, that they understood me, and they accepted me with all my imperfections and all my issues that I carried and that I was trying to release. And they've always supported me. They never looked down on me. They never pushed me to do anything more than I could. And I belong somewhere where I was on the same path as those people. That was in May and June. In July, I said, I got to try this Shakeology, because I had stopped working to take care of my mother, and who is 87. And I really couldn't afford it. So I made my finances work, and I got a challenge pack with Tai Cheng, which was what my coach recommended. My cousin recommended that I get. And it was the best decision of my life. Once I incorporated clean eating and I combined it and rooted that nutrition with Shakeology, my whole body started operating in a very different way. I had suffered from incredible chronic severe constipation my entire life. I had horrible gastritis. I had suffered from colitis all my life. I took many medications for my stomach and allergies, problems with my joints and everything. And as I started feeding my body right and hydrating my body correctly, which I had never been a water drinker, I felt how my body started functioning again properly. My digestion fixed, and I didn't have indigestion. I didn't need to take pills for my stomach. I became very regular. My joints started not being as swollen and hurting less. And I was able to share those successes and those changes with my group, and they encouraged me to go forward even when it hurt to work out. Because at that time, my knees were so bad, I was getting shots and going through physical therapy. And Tai Cheng, even though it's only 90 days, took me 6.5 months to complete. But it is the very first program that I have ever been able to complete anything dealing with fitness. And it was such an incredible accomplishment, emotional accomplishment for me that I did it. And my coach and my groups, my team celebrated that success with me. And I continued forward. And as I became a coach and started sharing my journey, people started noticing. And I was very open from the very beginning. And I didn't care about being obese. I took my pictures in my shorts and in my sports bra, and I let it all hang out and for everybody to see, because I wanted people to see, just like you said, Mindy, that it doesn't matter how old you are. It really doesn't matter. If you're ready to love yourself and heal your body, you can do it at any age. And slowly but surely, people started watching and asking and wanting to know more about what is this clean eating? What is this Shakeology? And I started letting people know, look what it's doing for me. It doesn't matter that it might be a little bit slower, but it's healing my body. I have energy. I sleep better. I feel better. I haven't gotten sick in all this time. Give it a try. And you want to get it at a discount, you can become a coach and you get a discount. And that's how little by little I've been helping others to begin their journey, and also providing them an opportunity to have their own business and lead a life by design. So here I am at 54, and I can honestly say that I am leading my healthiest, my best life because of one person who did not give up on me. One person who said, I want to give her the gift of health. And I'm a no now. It's a no. It doesn't mean a no forever. It means a no now and maybe later. And she was persistent with me. And I said yes to health. I said yes to me. And I release the past. When I forgave myself and I forgave others who hurt me, and I decided to love me when I was able to look at myself in the mirror and say, I love you, Millie, I love you. And please forgive me for not taking care of you. And from this day forward, we're going to do this. And we're going to love ourselves back to health. And I've taken it one day at a time, one meal at a time, one workout at a time. I honor and respect my body. I listen to my body. And I wish I could work out like Mindy does, but I know my limitations and I do the best I can. I modify. I love my cat. I love Cat. And I love Michelle in Payo. And I follow the modifications and I take it at my own speed. But I am consistent with my workouts. I am consistent with my hydration. I am consistent with my nutrition. And my body is loving what I'm doing for it and responding back by losing the weight, by getting stronger, and by giving me a future that I never thought I was going to have. So if you are on this call today and you are in your 50s or in your 60s or in any age, it doesn't matter. But if you have a dysfunctional relationship with food caused by any issues more than physical, I encourage you and I urge you to love yourself enough to release the past and forgive yourself, forgive everybody, and let them go. Let the past go. It's gone anyway. Don't focus on what happened to you, and don't use it as a crutch or an excuse to continue making the wrong choices for your life and for your body. And live this day one choice at a time, and making those choices based on love for your body, for your life, and for your tomorrow. And believe me, you will create miracles in your life. You will never be the same. So connect to a team. If this is your team, Team Relentless, you have found an incredible leader in Mindy Horde. Hang on to your people. Don't get disconnected. Even when you fall down, don't be embarrassed to tell what's going on in your life, in your day. Share it with the people in your group because they will lift you up. You are not alone. This is a journey to be walked hand in hand with those people that know what you're going through. And that's the beauty of the formula of Team Beachbody, that not only puts the perfect scientifically designed programs together with the perfect nutrition in Shakeology and in clean eating, but the perfect support in the accountability groups through your coaches and your fellow challenge members. That is the trifecta of success for any journey. So I urge you to lead your best life and dream with your eyes open and go out there and impact lives. You never know who's watching. And even if you're young, even if you're in your 30s or your 40s, I never thought I would say that. Even if you're young, your 30s, your 40s, that's how quickly time flies. I never thought I'd be here at 54 so quick, but here I am. Anyway, so you never know who you impact with a message of hope, with a message of love, with a message of a second chance. We all deserve to give ourselves a second chance at health and at a healthy life and a fulfilled life led by design. So this is my journey of love, and I am so grateful to Mindy for allowing me to share it with you. Back to you. Mindy, are you there? Hello.
Sorry. Thank you for that chat message. I've done that before. I'm just talking away. You have the most calming, peaceful voice. Like, I could have you read me a book at night and I would just relax. You're an elegant speaker. Thanks for sharing your story. I wasn't sure if you say yes, so it's an honor and privilege to have you here. And I know that, we have a lot of similarities in our past. We've talked before. So I know what it's like. And I know that many of you on the call or people who might listen to this recording later on might have things from their past, from their childhood, from adulthood that they're not so proud of or that they feel ashamed about. And it is one of those things that it's hard to start talking about. But once you start talking about it, that's your path to success. Yeah. That's how you heal yourself. That's how you let go of the past, how you love yourself. And if any of you have been following my journey, I know there's people who are not actually on my team but have followed me. You know what I've been through over the last couple of months, and I've learned to love myself. And for the very first time, I actually will say that I'm able to take care of myself first, and I'm taking a lot better care of my family and leading people a lot better. And so it's so important that you do love yourself. And, I have been advocate to helping end the stigma of mental illness, and advocate for therapy and counseling. So, fitness is the first thing that got me in the door to healing myself, and I made a big turnaround. But then I stopped kind of doing the things that helped me, and there were some things that were so deeply rooted that workouts, personal development, seminars, events, and a great community support wasn't enough. So sometimes if you're still struggling, don't be a hero. Don't let your pride get in the way. Get the help that you need. But I will say that going into therapy, the one thing that they said is having a support group. So Beachbody, boom, check that off the list. We have that covered. Taking very good care of yourself nutritionally. The handouts they gave us in therapy as an inpatient about eating was just ridiculous. But they were definitely encouraging better nutrition, better sleep, and exercise. And that studies will show that all of those things are a great way to combat stress, anxiety, depression, or any other mental illness. So you have the perfect formula here. And the personal development helps you grow into the person you're supposed to be. It's not about changing you. So it's one thing that so many coaches out there lack, is the consistency in the personal development. And then they never get to that point where I am at now. And Millie's at now, where you love yourself and you forgive yourself and you forgive others. So those are good points that I wanted to just reiterate to you, that you know, if you're doing those things, then fantastic. I'm so proud of you. But if you're not, get back on it, because I realize that my consistency now has rubbed off on my team, and I'm watching it just take over on my team. And then listening to Millie, how she speaks about herself and how inviting she is. No wonder people are joining her on their journey. But, you know, make sure that you're getting involved in the communities, because there are some people in challenge groups that don't participate and they don't ask questions, and then they feel alone. That is so important. If you're a coach, get involved in local events. If you're running a challenge group, help the people in the challenge group speak to you, speak to one another, get involved. That's that camaraderie. I always have a hard time saying that word. That keep people there. It's the friendships that are built, and have that relationship with your challengers, because if they are struggling, you want to have that relationship. But also as a coach too, you know, she said that she was approached for over a year. And I know that so many of you have probably approached people once or twice and they say no. And I've seen coaches quit working the business, or flat out quit because somebody says no. Here's the thing is, her family member who's a coach, I'm no doubt joined Beachbody and joined as a coach for her own goals, whether it be health, fitness, or weight loss, whatever it is. But I'm just thinking, what if she went to Millie, as you know, many coaches go directly to their best friends or coworkers, their family members who they have a trusting relationship already established. So just, you know, for all intents and purposes, say Millie was one of the first 5 people she invited, and Millie said no. What if that caused her to quit, like I've watched coaches do, and say, screw this, I'm not a good coach. She said no, it hurt my feelings. I suck at this. I'm not going to be a great coach. And then just took off. Well, obviously you heard her story. This has been an ongoing struggle her whole entire life. She's always desired these things. But what it was is she didn't love herself at the point. She wasn't ready to take control. She didn't feel like she was deserving. But a year or so later, she was. And what if her cousin had have been gone? Would she have went to lap band? Would she have went to another company? Would she have went to a gym and spent thousands or hundreds of dollars there? Because that one person that said that she was interested or believed in Beachbody quit, and it appeared that she didn't believe in it. So that causes people, if you quit, to lose all belief in Beachbody. They don't know your reason why you quit. So make sure that you stay in the game and that you're there. Because I'm telling you, I had somebody who just ordered 21-day fix last week who told me in September of 2013, I remember because I was laying in bed at leadership retreat in Dana Point, California. It was at break time. I was laying in bed, you know, on my laptop, messaging people back and forth. And she said, I'm ready now. Well, she wasn't ready until now, 2 years later. So you just think that she may have went somewhere else too, or went to another coach. So make sure that you stick in there and that you keep helping people. Make sure that you're running those 7-day clean eating challenge groups to help these people realize that they can learn to love water. They can learn to love themselves. How having that support will help them actually succeed if they have failed at every attempt to lose weight or get fit and healthy in the past. Make sure that you keep trying. Make sure that you help people even if they don't order Shakeology. But make sure that you explain to them how Shakeology can help, because she has this amazing story. Millie has a story of everything about overcoming past struggles, health, weight loss, building a business, working through pain. I mean, she has this story, and there are so many people out there on your friends list, or that you run into every day in the grocery store, or you know, somebody you went to school with, or somebody you work with, they out there who is silently suffering and struggling, just isn't ready, but it's waiting for that right moment. And maybe it's this right post that you make, or this right time where they had a really bad day coming home from the doctor, or trying on clothes, or something to that extent. And it's just when you invite. I heard a statistic that it takes at least 12 times to ask somebody before they will say yes when it comes to a business opportunity or some sort of opportunity like this. And I'll tell you, Melissa Galmain, she's hitting for elite. She's going to hit elite. I know it. She signed up as a coach this last February, and I asked her probably 20 times to be a coach because I saw her potential and she didn't see her potential. But then when she watched me and I worked with her and I built her confidence up, and she said yes, finally in February, I think 7th of last year, she took off and hit the ground running and has quit her job in less than 18 months. She's going to hit elite this month. She's leading her team, and she is that person that I saw that she was. So don't give up on people. Don't give up on your dreams just because somebody said no. If hearing the word no from somebody hurts your feelings, upsets you, makes you feel like a failure, you're not doing enough personal development. So did anybody have any questions before we end the call? Okay, I'm going to upload this to my YouTube. I think this is an excellent call for her story, everything that she encompassed, the importance of challenge groups, getting connected with the community, attending events, drinking your Shakeology, pushing through, doing your 100%, even if it doesn't match somebody who's the same age or 10 or 20 years younger than you, 100%. I think this is a great call. So this is something great to share with other coaches and to share with people who you've been talking to about taking the challenge and joining you and trusting you. And this is great for people who are struggling maybe in the challenge groups by not participating or have some health issues. So I will be uploading it. So make sure that you check my YouTube channel. And anyways, make sure that you give Millie a shout out for her bravery and her eloquent speaking and her time that she devoted to us. I hope you guys all have a great week. You can check the Fit Asian Mom coach page that I have for the event invite for next week, where I'll be speaking on Melanie Boland's call, and it will have the Zoom link and everything. That way you can join. So I hope you have a great night and the rest of the week. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.